We have all heard change is the law of nature, but time and again it has been shown that change is also the law that governs technology. With every passing day, technology requires us to create change, evolve, and accept to handle it better. Each passing day, we as engineers hunt new problems and find solutions to them. And we don't stop at it, we better the solution. Change is challenging, yet change is rewarding. And we have changed. We are now autonomous.
Good evening, everybody. It gives me immense pleasure to welcome each one of you to this episode where the first year students are going to share their experiences with us. The impact of interdisciplinary project based learning that we introduced as an engineering exploration lab in the first year of the autonomous scheme. So I'm going to invite Mr. Karthik, Ms. Aishwarya, Ms. Pragya, Mr. Badri, Ms. Faria, Mr. Vinay from the first year computer science, information science, and electrical and electronic engineering, and also AI and ML. So let me welcome each one of you to this live interaction. Now let me ask, I also would like to welcome Dr. Rashmi, who is the coordinator of this engineering exploration lab. Welcome everybody.
Thank you, sir.
Now let me ask Karthik. He is from Information Science and Engineering. Karthik, what are your experiences when you had engineering exploration lab in the first semester?
First of all, very good evening, sir, and to one and all who's watching on YouTube. It gives me immense pleasure to be here. In the first sem, we under this autonomous scheme, we were introduced to this new subject called engineering exploration, in which we were allowed to work on different hands-on projects from each different branches of engineering, in which we could work on drones, 3D printers, and voice-controlled robotic cars, etc. These faculty who were working in engineering exploration lab were very, very supportive, and they encouraged us in the each lab. Especially my team mentor, who was Puneet sir, for my final project, helped our team through every small complications also. He was there through everything. I would like to thank him, and also I would like to thank Jayana sir also. Sir, basically, in the engineering, it's an important part to work on the practical projects, because in the final year we are supposed to work on uh, project projects, final year projects, and directly if we like start with the final year projects and to do so, we'll be like confused and all. But I'm very thankful for Vidyavatka College, which introduced this engineering exploration. We worked every week on different projects, and we were assessed every week through report forms. And also, we were like, this was a fun learning way to learn about different things that was happening in engineering, and we were given an opportunity to understand how different branches also work. So basically I am from information science, but I got to know how things will be in civil department, or mechanical department, or electrical department, or for that matter CS department also, which is almost similar. So this gives me a chance to think that after first year, if I want to change my branch, I could, and I would know like how the other branches are, and what branch I am specifically interested in.
Yeah, thank you, Karthik. I know you have said that it is of multidisciplinary. You were exposed to various branches of engineering. Thereby, you got a lot of benefits. And you also mentioned that if you want to change the branch because you have been explored, you have been exposed to various branches, you can take the right decision at the end of the second semester. Thank you.
Yes, sir.
Now let me ask Aishwarya. who represents computer science and engineering, what are your experiences in the engineering exploration lab? Because we introduced that for the first time in our institute under the autonomous scheme. What is your say about that lab?
Good evening, sir. First of all, I'm very happy to be a part of this meet. Uh, as I think, as engineers, everybody will have this thoughts that we have to make a project in the span of 4 years. So, Exploration Lab was a very good platform for us to get into project-based learning, where whatever we have learned, we could apply it practically, and we would explore what knowledge we have got. And according to me, working on hands-on projects is a very good platform to explore whatever we have learned. And the best part of this lab was that we were even given chance to work on interdisciplinary projects where we could even explore other departments too. So this was very fun to be a part of this lab, sir.
Great. Aishwarya, how you could manage your team members?
Yes, team management was the best thing which we learned, because everybody cannot do all the work, or one person cannot do all kinds of work. So to speak on project which we did, one had to take care of the budget, or one had to take care of the hardware part or the software part. Yeah, team management we learned, because when we get into the corporate world, it is very important to learn team management and group skills. In that way, it was helpful, sir.
Oh, great. Thank you, Aishwarya. Let me ask
Thank you, sir.
Pragya. She is from A&ML, Artificial Intelligence and Machine Learning. Pragya, how did the faculty encourage you to do the project? And when you were in a crisis, how did they help you?
Sir, first of all, a pleasant evening to everyone. Good evening, sir. First of all, to say about our guide, Sneha Shetty ma'am. She was a great backbone for us for the whole 3 days of what we had kept a deadline for to do our project. Where the first day we had kept for the coding and the other 2 days for the debugging, and where the debugging part was very difficult for us, and that was the part where we thought to drop this project and do some other easier projects. So she came, so at that part she encouraged us, and she helped us in debugging, and that was the day where the video is being shown. That was the time where she helped us in debugging, and the project actually worked. So me and my team are very grateful for her. And to speak about this project, it is based on two assignments what we had done in exploration lab. That is Arduino based voice controller car, and the other one is HTML, which was the first assignment what we did in our exploration lab. I know we have used Python to code this, but HTML class was first a class where we were exposed to coding, and it encouraged us to learn more coding, especially the bio background students, PCMB students, in which even I'm included. And the inspiration for us to do this idea is our library doors, library doors which uses the sensors, where we play a lot many times. So that was the main inspiration for us to do this project, and even the hand sanitizers which we find in most of the places of our colleges. So that was one of our inspirations. And to speak about exploration lab and the project what we have done, actually we have I have considered this as a miracle, because I didn't think that our project will be so successful and will be so renowned. So it has encouraged, and this meeting has encouraged us, and especially me, to improvise this project and to get it to the bigger heights. Thank you, sir.
Great. Pragya, you have mentioned that you have learned Python, HTML. Normally, those things are taught in the second year after you learn C programming. Now, even before you go into the second year, you know Python and its applications. That's amazing. Great. Now,
Actually,
let me ask.
we just know the basics, not the full Python. So we just learned the Python. We just learned the basics of Python.
Yeah, that is good enough, so that you know the basics of it, so that you will learn much deeper of it in the third semester. Now, let me ask Badri, who represents computer science and engineering branch, now how the assessments were done and what are your experiences with respect to engineering exploration lab?
So first of all, a good evening to everyone, and thank you, sir, for giving me this opportunity to express my opinions about this engineering exploration lab. So coming to the assessment pattern, we were assessed on a weekly basis. So we were introduced to a large number of experiments, like from different departments. We had one project from CSC, which is the web development, and you have one project from electronics and communication engineering, that is voice control autonomous car, voice control robot. So it uh, they assist us on a weekly basis, which helped us to understand about us, what topics have we really understood, and if we had any sort of confusion or any doubt, we could immediately approach the teachers, and they were really helpful. So I could even mention about my our team's final project, which is firefighting robot. uh, it is also based on one of the experiments which was conducted in this exploration lab, that is voice controlled autonomous car. So some of the components were similar. So my mentor Puneet sir, he actually we had decided upon a lot of experiments, and we seriously had a confusion of which project do we choose, and how is it going to be helpful to the society in the future. So in all these aspects, our mentor really helped us. And then there were a lot of problems which occurred while we were doing the project, but our mentors really supported to a great extent. And at the beginning of the first semester, I really couldn't imagine myself doing a project and being successful and accomplished in doing that. But this exploration lab not only has given me a knowledge about how different departments work, it has also helped me to make a project by myself along with the other team members, which will actually have use in the future, which people can actually use it tomorrow. Thank you, sir.
Yeah,
So,
great, Badri. You had a great experience and application of those things in
definitely,
real
sir.
life. Yeah, and then how you can also think of how you can apply those projects in real life and what are the problems that we are currently facing and how we can find solutions to those problems. I think that would give a lot of information, knowledge, how to handle a difficult situation and how to solve, how to apply various theories in doing a project.
By doing a project. And I just want to add a point, sir.
Yeah.
So this, as mentioned by the other person also. So even I really want to think about changing my branch after this first year. But the problem is that I didn't have a clear idea of how the other departments would work.
Mm.
But this engineering exploration, it has opened my eyes, and it's really easy for me to decide whether to continue in the CSC department or go to electronics and communication engineering, where you can build lots of stuff which will be which will be helpful to the people in future. So I really thank VVC for giving me this good opportunity. And moreover, in this autonomous scheme, the biggest advantage is people will be introduced to such kind of courses and things in the higher semesters. But getting exposed to all these, making projects and implementing it, and trying to figure out how this can be useful to people, being it introduced to me in the first year is really wonderful, and I'm really happy about it, sir.
Great. Thank you, Badri. Now let me ask Faria. She is from electrical and electronics engineering. Now, what are your experiences in the engineering exploration lab, Faria? I think, I think Faria has some technical issue. Let me ask Vinay. who is from information science and engineering, how did it help in improving your communication skill, financial management, and how it is different from the normal class?
Good evening, sir. Thank you for having me here. In building any project, the cost of the project plays a very important role. For example, I will take my project itself to explain it. The name of my project is Detection of Obstacle Using Radar. At the first, when we started the project, the cost of the project was around 2000. So we looked up for the alternative solutions to bring down the cost of the project down. We use jumper wires instead of breadboards. We created a virtual interface in the laptop instead of touch screen. At one point, we had to buy the codes for Arduino, which would cost us around $2 in a website. But we took the initiative to build the code by ourselves. Thanks to the experience and the knowledge of the faculty, we managed to bring the cost from 2000 to just 600. When you see it, it is a large marginal difference when you see in numbers. So I think in developing any projects, the cost and finance plays a very important role. And I basically believe that theoretical knowledge is of no use if we don't implicate in the practical world. If I think learning and finding experience in the different fields and branches of engineering gave a step forward for us in the race of industrial revolution.
Great, Vinay. You could learn a lot of other things in addition to the enhancing your technical competency, which is one of the main objectives. Apart from that, you have understood financial management and how it could be applied, how you can prepare a report. I think all those skill set will definitely help you at the later stage, particularly when you do your final year project. Now, let me ask.
Sir, I would
please.
like to add one point, sir. I would give a message. Rather, I will convey this message for every juniors or fellow mates who are looking forward to join a college. I would suggest VVC because they have advanced. They have evolved from theoretical teaching to most advanced activity-based learning. So I would suggest all of you to please consider joining VVC.
Oh, thank you. Thank you, Vinay. I think you are the brand ambassador of VVC. All the first year students are the brand ambassadors of Vidyavardhaka College of Engineering. As you have mentioned that, in the autonomous scheme, we are trying our best to make project-based learning or problem-based learning in every semester. Thereby, it will excite every student to come to the college and learn many things, not just the theory within the four walls of classrooms, but you learn a lot in the lab, not just in the lab, outside the classroom too.
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
Thank you, sir.
Yeah. Now let me ask Dr. Rashmi, who is the coordinator of this engineering exploration lab in the first year. What do you say, madam, on this issue?
Very good evening to one and all. So it's really a great opportunity for the very first year students that as and when they enter the college, they're exposed to project-based learning. So it's an excellent platform for all the first year students wherein they will be exposed to doing projects of other disciplinaries and also they are involved in self-learning. Because when we have to do a project, it is not a small time which is involved, it's a large time where the students have to involve themselves in practicing many things. And I think this is excellent platform wherein students are introduced to different branches with different projects, and it will definitely help them for their final year projects as well, sir.
Great, thank you. So how did the students receive the first few classes of engineering exploration lab? Can you recollect?
Definitely, sir. In fact, the students were they've really enjoyed all the lab sessions because it is project based, and the infrastructure, the kind of infrastructure what we have provided in Vidyavardhaka College of Engineering, I think it's really exciting because the round table configuration of table and chairs as well as and the different types of components that we have placed there for the students to experience, so they can feel, they can touch, they can explore many things there. It was really a fun learning for all the students, and it is not just like a theory class or a practical class, but it's a mixture of both the things. I think it was really a fun-filled experience for all the students, what I could say.
Yeah, thank you, madam. Thank you so much. Let me ask just the first year students of engineering exploration lab. Karthik, do you have anything to say?
Sir, I would just like to add that the project which we worked on was Arduino lie detector, which basically tests our electrodermal activity of our skin, and it shows us whether the person which whom we want to test is either nervous or is he lying or is he okay. Like it's we can just see polygraph also while checking that. When we are nervous, the electrodermal activity of our skin actually increases. So when we actually thought to do this lie detector, we were like, will this work? The outputs may not come properly, and every time it won't work. I guess it's just gonna be some project sake or something. But when we approached the faculty with this idea that how we can improve and all, Puneet sir was very helpful with it, and so only we could actually bring it to a stage that almost 98% it was working, and then we again redeveloped it and added some more features to it in the code, and then in the electric part also to the devices we add more devices to it also, which finally we can actually see the polygraph properly and the values of the electrodermal activity also in the IDE software. So I was
Okay.
just like to say that the faculties, whenever we approached and whenever like we had free classes, actually when we had breaks, sometimes we actually went to exploration lab again and again to get it solved. So we normally students will be like, okay, we have break, we'll like do something else, we'll just take some rest. But this was actually our rest. This exploration lab, everyone wanted to go for it, they were eager to do it. And especially I would like to recall the class of working on drones, which was very cool. We went into the complex and then we tested drones to ourselves, we learned calibration and all. So we also tried to fly those drones. Of course we were not good at it, to be honest, but our teachers make sure that we learned everything, we knew how to fly. And we were also like encouraged to create our own drones in the future upcoming classes. And the faculty were also like, you can come whenever you want, you can work on different projects. And so only we could work on 3D printer also, which was also pretty cool. See, some devices we can afford on our own and we can do our own node, but 3D printers and all such things can only be available at colleges in the infrastructure part. So I would like to say that the infrastructure of that engineering lab also, actually, which had started this year under autonomous scheme, was pretty good. They almost had everything, they could help us with everything.
Thank
So
you.
this gives us confidence to, like, if we have enough resources, then we feel like trying, and then we when we try we like it, and then we like to develop it on our own.
Thank you. Thank you, Karthik, for
Thank you so much, sir, for including this under autonomous scheme.
yeah. Thank you. Thank you. Let me check with Faria. Are you there? Faria? Yeah. Now, can you share your experiences of engineering exploration lab, Faria? You have to unmute. Faria, you have to unmute and then talk. Yeah.
My experience. Yeah, yes. So this multidisciplinary lab taught me very much. Like I learned many subjects, like many courses. All courses were included in first year itself. Like we can overview on everything. And in first year itself, to change our course after first year, it will be helpful for us in choosing the right career path. This is a very good course, and I think there is limitless possibilities of learning, and I feel much curiosity and interest in learning all these things, and it also helps in entrepreneurship ability. And in this lab, I learned about the drone, making drone and how to fly it, and also about building blocks getting to know how time passed was motivates me more, and it breaks all the stereotypes of engineering and was much more interesting, sir. So
Okay.
that's all, sir.
Okay. Thank you so much, Faria. Maybe I will give just 10 seconds. Aishwarya, would you like to say something before we wind up?
Yes, sir. I have a point. It is just for the students who, whenever we plan to do a project, we have to think about its scope for future and then work on that project. Is it economical or how it will be useful, its advantages and disadvantages? That is the one thing we have to keep in mind. That's all, sir.
Oh, thank you, Aishwarya. Maybe Pragya, you have 10 seconds. Pragya? Okay, let me ask Badri. Badri, you have 10 seconds to say something about your experiences in the Engineering Exploration Lab.
So it was really wonderful, and I think it actually taught me a lot about how to work in a team and then bring out something useful for the future. That's all, sir. That's all. That's how I could put in short my exploration lab experience. So that's what they taught us.
Thank you, Badri. Now, Vinay, do you want to say something in 10 seconds?
Sir, I have a suggestion, sir. Can you
Yeah.
include this exploration lab for every year?
We will definitely include it. We will definitely do it. And in fact, every course will have a problem-based learning or project-based learning. That definitely it will be there under the autonomous scheme, because we want engineering to be exciting, and we want everyone to be industry ready.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you. Dr. Rashmi, would you like to say something, madam, before we wind up?
That's it, sir. From my end, I think Exploration Lab is really a great platform for all the first year students. And I hope this will take them to really great heights. Thank you.
Thank you so much. I thank everyone. So I thank Karthik, Aishwarya, Pragya, Badri, Faria, and Vinay, and also Dr. Rashmi, the Engineering Exploration Lab Coordinator. And I thank everyone for your experience, for sharing your experiences during the Engineering Exploration Lab. In fact, we also have Social Innovation Lab in the first year, apart from Engineering Exploration Lab. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Thank you.
Thank you, everybody.